Hi, Fred here for Tuesday 10 Talk. Today we're going to talk about repair tape and why we think ours is some of the best repair tape on the market. One of the unique things that we have done here at Fred's Tents with a repair tape is we actually take the fabric that we build your tent out of and build the repair tape. So we formulated the adhesive to go back on the back of it. So if you have our sailcloth, we have translucent that matches the sailcloth. If you buy our center peak buckle, we have blockout that matches that color. If you buy a pole tent, we have blockout. So we offer it in three different styles. We do translucent, and then we in a laminate. Then we do a laminate blockout, and then we do a coated 25 ounce. With that said, what can we do with these repair tapes? Great things to have in the truck, have in the shop. Maybe you have a wash department, maybe you have a repair department. Definitely should have a roll or two of this repair tape, whether you have laminate or blockout. This repair tape has a release paper on the back, so it's just a peel and stick. This is a permanent patch though, it is not a temporary patch. I've had people build doorways or heater ducts, or getting a heater around a tent, or maybe a wall that's flapping that you have to secure to the beam. But remember when you use this that you're using it as a permanent patch, not something that's going to be removed. So if we had a rip in the tent, maybe the tent was right there, how would we use this product? What I would recommend is size up your piece. So my patch is too small, so let's cut another piece that's maybe this big. And when I patch a tent, I always like to round the corners. A square corner can tend to catch on things, maybe in the washer, maybe just rolling it up, catching on the ground. So I round my corners on my patch. Pretty simple. I don't have to worry about that applicator brush, maybe brushing off the repair. I just take my repair tape and I round my corners. All right, I got my release paper, and I can just release it. And then what I would do is, don't peel the whole thing off, just peel a little bit. And then what I want to do is start it on the patch, okay? And then I release it, okay? And there's my patch. So where my crack was in my tent, where my rip was, I rounded the corners, and I've got my patch, and it's there, and forget it. I'm ready to use. There's no setup time on that glue. It's not sliding. It's not moving. I can do anything. A couple of the other patches, maybe you've got a small pinhole. Maybe you've got a little, just a little hole. You can cut them into little round patches, whatever you need. I like to go a little bit larger than the actual rip, just so we can have a little holding power. If it's a really major rip, I would put it on the inside and the outside. The other thing that we did is we've made the adhesive on the top side. I always think when I walk into a tent and it's got to be repaired, we want the best looking patch on the inside of the tent. That's where our guests are. They're going to be up looking at the roof. We want to see it. So the back side does not have the adhesive on, and if I put it on the top side, it's going to be way up in the air. It's going to be hard for somebody to tell if it's the top or the bottom side of the fabric. So if you notice, the repair tape has the adhesive on the top side. So that's another little trick that we did when we formulated. Comes in 6 inches wide by 50 feet. We have it in all three styles of fabric. The other thing is if you're going to have the repair tape for a long period of time, I recommend, because of the adhesive, especially in the heat, it can run a little bit. So store your logs or your rolls like logs. Put them down long ways. So I would not store it. If you end up buying 4 or 5 rolls or have them, don't sit them here and stick them on the shelf like that. Keep them in the plastic till you're ready to use. Keep them on their side. One other thing, you guys that are doing structures, bigger structures, and hopefully this makes sense. So if I had a large structure, maybe it was a 2-piece rafter, and this piece had a split right here, okay? And you were at an event and it tended to leak. What you could do is take the repair tape. Now remember, this is a permanent install, so once you apply it to the vinyl, it's going to stick there. So I can do it right there, stick it to the beam, it'll support that crack. The other thing, instead of doing a beam flap where you had Velcro, or maybe you're going to lace this over to another panel, we do carry it in 18-inch rolls. so you could stick it right here, go completely over the arch and stick it here. But remember, that is permanent. You'll have to cut this in the center. So let me stick this down and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You will have to cut the repair tape off to get the panels out and release it. So let me just get that. So there we go here. So I'm going to do it. You can see the adhesive's pretty good. So we're going to tape it down, close the gap. My patch should have been a little bit bigger and it would have resealed to that. So I can get somebody to give me one of their knives there. Be careful, obviously you want to have the good guy up on it, cutting it. So that would release it, and then I would pull that panel off. My whole panel would be able to slide out, but it would be affixed. You know you're going to have this piece of repair tape on your fabric if you were done. So laminate, translucent, laminate, block out, and then we have the coated 25-ounce repair tape. Keep it in mind, it's really good for that quick and easy fix. You got to tape back a panel. Talk to your salesman, call us here. Let's see if we can help you get those repairs done and extend the life of those sidewalls or roof panels. For Fred at TTT, WeMakeTents.com. See you next week for another topic.